Okay, we're back talking more NBA, and I don't know if you're just looking on Twitter or some social media, and it says, hold on, let me turn this fan off.
Yeah.
Okay, and word is Kyrie to the Nets. We kind of knew that, he's signing with ROC Nation, company owned by Jay-Z, I think, and who's also part owner of the Brooklyn Nets. We knew trader Kyrie was gonna bail on us in Boston. Good riddance. That part's fine. But we're gonna look today at what the Nets look like with Kyrie. So last I checked, Kyrie's a point guard, and
They have
what position does D'Angelo Russell play?
point guard.
Okay, and what position is Spencer Dinwiddie?
Point guard.
Kind of a point guard. Yeah, he's a tall point guard. He can at least place him too.
Mm-hmm.
When Karis LeVert was at Michigan, he played a little bit of point guard.
Yeah.
He's also kind of I view him as a combo guard, also a 3. I think he's 6'7". He can kind of do a little bit of everything. And then who else we got on this roster?
That are like point guards though, or guards. So that's a problem already. They have Jared Allen.
What would you say if I told you it's a guards league? That's not a problem at all. We're going to run out 4 guards.
Good luck with that. And you have Joel Embiid coming in. He's going to just dunk on you.
That's why we got Jared Allen.
Okay, so then you have, who else? Tobias Harris posting up. Hopefully he can do something.
Oh, Tobias Harris? Well, if that's all we have to worry about, I'm not changing my roster composition to account for Tobias Harris.
So you're going to play four point guards. You're going to have Kyrie, doesn't play that much defense. D'Lo, not great at defense. Dinwiddie, pretty good, but playing at the 3 or 4?
No, okay, so I'm joking.
Yeah.
But one thing I will say is that it is a guards league, and it is interesting to me. If you're lying in bed and you wake up and you hear on the radio that Kyrie Irving is coming to Brooklyn and your name is D'Angelo Russell, how do you feel?
I'm going to feel great. I feel replaced, and I probably ask for a trade.
But it's not like you've ever had chemistry issues before.
Oh. True.
Yeah, of course you have.
Yeah,
that's the joke. And I don't know if there are enough basketballs to go around.
There isn't.
Between a guy like D'Lo, who, man, he likes to pound it, he likes to shoot it. He's also got a pretty flair for the pass on occasion. When he was at Ohio State, he was a really visionary passer. I mean, he was the type of player that I really liked. His game in the pros, I think he's been watching too much James Harden.
Yeah.
And he takes some bad shots, and his efficiency level is pretty low. If his efficiency were higher, I think that they would be a better team. So, okay, Kyrie's obviously a starter. D'Lo's, so you're going to start D'Lo at kind of the off guard, combo guard role.
Yeah.
And so when he's not running high pick and rolls, when he's just spotting up at 3, is he still D'Lo, or does he become like the ghost of D'Lo?
So the problem is with this is that Kyrie, in my opinion, needs the ball to be. He's a ball dominant player.
31% usage rate.
Yep.
Thank you.
D'Lo, same story. Without the ball, he can shoot it, but I mean,
it's hard to shoot it without the ball.
Yeah.
But I get what you mean. I get what you mean.
Yeah. So those two at your guards and Kyrie, they both can pass, but Kyrie likes to force the ball into the play, like he did with the Celtics. You can see it was painful. His passes, when he did get an assist, it was flashy, unbearably flashy, not even needed.
Yeah,
and
he's just trying to squeeze an orange into a keyhole.
Yeah. But the rest of the roster, really tough guys, really gritty, and I love the rest of the squad.
And I have to say that a commendable job by Kenny Atkinson. I think he's a good coach. I think he's a good fit for the squad that they have. I think that he sort of recuperated, if you will, or renovated, or whatever the word is, D'Lo's game and his image and his confidence.
Mm-hmm.
I think after the Swaggy P incident, the infamous Swaggy P incident, D'Lo wasn't going to fit in with absolutely everyone in the league anymore. That there's kind of a code among men in the league, I think. But Atkinson did a pretty darn good job, and I think that they've made some pretty shrewd decisions. Now they made this trade recently with the Hawks.
Yeah.
This was the first foot to drop, and we knew when that happened that it meant that Kyrie was coming, right?
Yep.
And so, in hindsight, now knowing that they're getting Kyrie, how do you feel about this trade? Do you like giving up the 17th pick?
Not a big fan.
Essentially for nothing. Well, not nothing. I mean, you brought in Torian Prince, right?
Yeah. Again,
They give up two first round picks, right? I almost choked on the words.
Yeah.
two first round picks for Torian Prince. Okay.
Torian Prince had to take a step back. Basically, wasn't used to not getting the ball as much with the showing up of
Herter?
No, not Herter. Who was it?
On the Hawks?
His name?
Trey?
Yeah, on the Hawks. Trae Young. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know how I can think of his name. Trae Young needs the ball. Obviously, he's getting the ball a lot more. And he's trying to create stuff. It's difficult, but Herter was so good at that, being able to spot in the corners and do that simple job. Shoot. Torian Prince?
Not as much, but
Not as much.
He's an average shooter.
But
Isn't Torian Prince the kind of guy that you want next to Kyrie, who doesn't really need the ball and just kind of a go-getter?
And I think that's a good fit, but it's tough for me. And obviously, with giving him 2 draft picks, 2 first rounders, that seems like a little excessive.
The way that you can sleep at night, Eli, if you just give up those 2 first-round draft picks, is you can say, we traded them for Kyrie, essentially, right? Because we weren't going to be able to make that deal happen. We didn't have enough cap space. Once we got rid of Allen Crabbe, we were able to do it. So they'll say, well, for Kyrie, it seems worth it. Now, here's my question to you. Let's say they don't add anything else, because I think they've got a pick in the late 20s, 27 or something like that.
Yeah.
That's very unlikely to be an impact player. So you take this team that made it to the playoffs, was pretty scrappy. Took what, 1 game from Philly? One game
which
from
is
Philly.
impressive because
And it was a nice game, and they gave him hell like 2 or 3 other times. It was not a.
I mean, they should have closed out at least 1 more game.
They did get blown out, I think, a couple of times, but they did, they showed some grit. You add Kyrie into this mix. Is the team better? They made the playoffs last year. You add Kyrie.
I mean,
how much better are the Brooklyn Nets?
I mean, you're causing more problems than solving problems, in my opinion. You take away D'Lo from his natural position, and I'm guessing put him at the shooting guard position if he's starting. If you take him off the bench, if D'Lo's fine with that, bring him on as a 6th man. That would be the most ideal situation, I think.
D'Lo as a 6th man now. People are going to balk at that. D'Lo's an all-star.
Yeah, I realize that.
He's an all-star. You're going to put your all-star as a backup. People don't understand how important a 6th man is.
This 6th man can get the same amount of minutes as a starting shooting guard or a starting point guard.
Hello.
Just because they're coming off the bench.
Hallelujah. Thanks for saying that.
Yeah, because coming off the bench doesn't mean they're significantly worse. So they should be not even thought of.
You're preaching to the choir here.
So, Kyrie, I mean, him coming to this Nets team, I think, will they make the playoffs? They're improving. Obviously, people are saying it's automatic improvement.
Is it obvious?
It's not.
Is it obvious?
Okay, for a normal NBA fan, for a naive NBA fan, I should say, people say Kyrie Irving be one of the stars, add him to a team that didn't have, D'Lo a great star. Anyone else? Not really. So add him to the team, you think that's an automatic improvement. It's not, though. In my opinion, it's not. You're causing, again, like I said, more problems than solving. And if
he's such a leader, though. He's such a great leader, Kyrie.
Yeah, sure he is. Yeah, he led us the 2nd round. We were in these conference finals last year. I'm not gonna talk about that. So, if D'Lo's fine to come off the bench, I mean, no player's gonna be fine with that. You just led this team to playing against the Philadelphia 76ers in the playoffs, which is huge. That's huge for the Nets. And you're just going to put this guy who possibly led you there on the bench? Is he going to be fine with that? What do you think?
If you're Karis LeVert, or you're Spencer Dinwiddie, or you're any of these sort of role player types that are on this squad, and you just, you fought through injury, and you just gutted out a bunch of tough games, you gave Philly hell, and you overachieved, I would say. Most people didn't think that they were going to do that. And yeah, you leaned on D'Lo a little bit, but honestly, I credit their success to their scrappy defense, to Jarrett Allen primarily. Allen's a beast. And to clutch play sometimes from Dinwiddie, from LeVert, and gritty play from some other dudes. Now they come to you and they say, guess what, guys? I know you guys are dogs. I know you came up together. I know you overachieved. You made it to the playoffs together. You did everything we asked from you. Here's your new king. We just brought in a new guy. You got to bow at the throne of Kyrie. And he's going to take half your shots, D'Lo. And there's going to be a lot of oohs and ahs. And he's going to hang with Jay-Z after the game. That's just how it is.
That would annoy me so much. It just would. I mean, wouldn't anyone, right? Because you were there first. I mean, it sounds kind of childish, but they were there first. They worked to get that playoff spot. Well, Kyrie could hardly bring the Celtics to the second round. It's unbelievable. The Pacers with Oladipo, I think the Celtics would have won that game 6-7. I expected to go to 6 or 7 right away. So I'm done. Kind of surprising, but the games were close. So, Kyrie bringing to the squad, I think it's not a downgrade anyway, but the chemistry is going to be so flustered. You could tell with the Celtics, it was flustered. And that you think that team could have been more complete together. You know, we had the bench with attitude. That was huge. And it just kind of fell apart. And it was kind of like heartbreaking.
Yeah, it was too bad the way that season went.
Yeah.
One of the most discouraging Celtics seasons, but we won't talk about the Celtics here. Okay, so your vote is they do make the playoffs, or they're worse than before?
I think they're going to be worse than before. I think they're going to scrap an 8th or 7th seed. I wouldn't be surprised if they go to 6th, though. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if they say the same.
Okay.
But do they make it past the first round? No.
One final question in parting. Does Kyrie stick it to the Celtics and drop 45 on them once?
Versus Marcus Smart? No. No way.
Okay.